things because.
Oh, and we're going to leave it there just in case. Yeah, what's going on, guys? So I'm just trying to. There's one thing I forgot to load up. I think it's this bit here. I was trying to load something like a specific clip for something. I'm hoping it's this bit here. Yeah. I'll grab that in a bit just because it'll look weird until I actually explain it. So yeah, how's everyone doing? It's been a while since I live streamed. I couldn't tell you. Let's see, when's the last time I live streamed? It's not been that long. It's only been like a month. I thought it was a lot longer since I stopped. Is there a date on this? 31st November. Last year. Okay, can make that joke. So yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Time flies. Time flies so fast. It does feel that long to fair. It's been probably about a month and a couple of days. So yeah, how's everyone doing? It's like I said, it's crazy, man. I think as soon as you get a 9 to 5 job, your life basically ends. It feels like, it's just wild. Quite quality better than quantity, I suppose. But all my streams are basically the same, anyways. To be honest, there's not a ton of difference. Even with my videos, that's something I'll talk about towards the end of the stream. I don't think we'll go on too long, just because there's some stuff I wanted to actually discuss. But it will go full circle. We'll go full circle with this. I'm just seeing some of the posts on Twitter. It's so funny, some of this stuff. I don't know. Like trying to figure out what's going on in the world is it's just nuts. Like I've just seen they've got a trailer for the new Metal Gear game, and yeah, I'm so excited for it. It looks really good. So I'm just excited for it to be back. Just let my friend know I'm streaming. But I think the thing I want to talk about is just stuff regarding channel stuff. Stuff. This is what I really want to start with. Just Reform UK doing well. And then we'll go full circle because there's other stuff I want to discuss. So we might as well get started then. We've got a couple of people in the room, so no better time to crack on, I guess, than now, which is Reform UK kind of topping Labour in a poll.
New poll to bring you tonight on the Politics Hub, just breaking the last few moments. And of course, look, don't pay too much attention to just one poll, but it's a pretty eye-catching one. And it's also part of a wider trend. Our deputy political editor, Sam Coates, has the details. What's going on?
So the opinion poll that we've got is one that's absolutely guaranteed to drive the conversation. Small changes underlie it, but that doesn't mean it won't be big news. Let me take you through the latest YouGov Sky News exclusive poll, because what it does, Sophie, is it puts Reform UK...
No, don't Mithril. No, we don't disrespect Big Boss in this house. We respect the boss, who is the villain in the game, and she's the final one. Well, I guess the American government would be the final villain, but you never get to really defeat them. We respect Ava, we respect Naked Snake, aka Big Boss, and everyone else in the game. We respect those people.
In the lead, only by a little bit and only after a small change, but Reform UK in the latest voting intention poll are on 25%, overtaking Labour, who were top, who are on 24%. The Tories down in third on 21%. Liberal Democrats on 40%.
I'm kind of dumb. I was meant to do a separate video on this, but I've completely lost track of time. By the time I cover it, it's going to be old. Fuck it, I'll do it anyways. We're going to do it anyways. I'm not going to sing the guy's line, but you know what I'm saying. Oops.
And Green on 9. Now, I said quite small movements. What's happened to get Nigel Farage's party out in front is that since last week, Reform have gone up 2 and Labour down 3. That's the big change. Those are in the margin of error. So it doesn't suggest necessarily a massive shift. But when you see Reform UK coming out on top, there's no way the political system is going to respond and talk about that.
And I guess, in a way, if it was a massive shift, then that would think, oh, is this an outlier? You know, it doesn't really make sense. But the fact that, you know, it feels to me like we've been building to this point over a period of some weeks now.
So the question is, how do we get here? When you look at the poll shifted, right? Let's look at who do you think, right, in your opinion, have you seen more of on TV? Have you seen the Lib Dems a lot on TV? Have you seen the Green Party a lot on TV? Or have you seen Nigel and Ticey on the TV a lot? That's the question. Because I've seen a lot of Farage and I've seen a lot of Richard Tice now. It might be just people sharing their clips on social media and things like that. Or is it the case that he's the one being platformed? Those two are the ones being platformed the most. Because I can tell you for free, I rarely see the Green Party, even though they have one SMP and a shit ton of councillors. I rarely see the Lib Dems, even though they've got a metric ton of MPs. I don't get it. You know, it doesn't make sense. You know, the media, they have some sort of addiction to Nigel Farage because I think he's like Trump in the sense of he gets views. That's the only thing I can think of. He must get views or he must do something for the analytics in order to constantly keep platforming him rather than platforming the Greens or Liberal Democrats. Now, I get Ed Davey is boring. I don't think there's anyone that exciting in the Liberal Democrat Party at all. They're all kind of meh, boring. The Green Party, again, Carla Denya's all right. I don't see her a lot. Polanski, I think his name is. I don't see him a lot. And so, you know, I can see why they're struggling in the polls, so no one knows anything about them. But Reform are the ones who are constantly in the media. Constantly. And why is that? I think it's money. I saw Max talking about how, you know, one of the reasons why they're doing well is because the media do they want Nigel Farage elected? Nah, bro. I think it's money. Straight up. Cash. Because he gets some views. That's what it's all about. It's not just if like as much as, and I'll talk about this actually later in the video because it'll make sense. Why I'm kind of like discussing some of these topics, right? It's money. At the end of the day, like it's the media business. When you look at why people cover the topics they cover, it's because of money. Especially with the ones that do this full time. If they look at video topics that are popular, they won't talk about things that are important because of money. They might talk about how, you know. And I'll be addressing that person later actually because they're specifically in this video for factual reasons. They talk about I want my my channel to be like you know, a platform where I can have lots of outreach, so I need to have popular videos. Nah, it's not about that. It's about money, straight up. Because if you wanted a platform for social good, you wouldn't spread as much misinformation as you do. You would actually talk about things properly. You would let stories play out properly so you can get a full context of things. But let's be honest, it's money. It's the media business. Can you guys hear me okay? I don't know if the stream's cut out. It's still ticking up on YouTube, so it should be fine. I hope. Okay, cool. But it's the media business at the end of the day, and that's one of the reasons. That's the main reason they keep platforming Farage is views and money. That's it. Okay, cool. It just, I don't know. YouTube's weird sometimes, but that's all it is. Like. Yeah, I saw on Sky News Kay Burley suddenly left. And the question is, why did she suddenly retire? It's really weird, isn't it? She'd probably be one of the highest paid newscasters. Definitely at Sky, because she's been there for so long. But also, probably in the country. Sky News, I don't know how well they're doing financially. I doubt it's that great. But platforming people like Farage, it generates the money. Because at the end of the day, you got to pay for big production studio. You got to pay for these polls to come out. And I wouldn't be surprised if Sky News... I'm not... Because the argument you have to make is... Because this is a Sky News poll. A YouGov poll funded by Sky News, right? So if you want to make the argument the poll is crooked, why would YouGov do a poll that is slanted towards Reform UK? Unless that's what Sky News wanted because they wanted talking points. This is the argument you would have to make here. In order for you to say Reform UK are not actually that popular in terms of vote share, you know, in terms of voting intention rather than in terms of winning seats. Because a lot of people who are trying to translate this into winning seats is nonsense. It's cap. It's straight cap. Right, and I've seen that from a so-called left Twitter page, which we'll address. But to make the argument, Reform are not that popular, and this poll may be an outlier or whatever, unless you can actually look at the methodology and assess where they've gone wrong, you're talking nonsense. If you want to make the argument that Sky News maybe funded this poll in order to boost up Reform UK to make themselves look better, you can make that argument fine. Honestly, facts. Because at the moment, as far as I'm aware, YouGov are the gold standard when it comes to polling. When Farage asks dumb question at PMQs, it's for clicks. He puts it, yeah, because he's the guy. He's the one politician in this whole country, right, who understands social media better than anyone else. It's him. He understands it better than any other MP, apart from maybe Zara Sultana, but she's on new media. She's on TikTok. She's not. I don't think she's that big on Twitter, like her clips and stuff. But then again, she doesn't. I don't think she has much opportunity to talk as much as Farage does. You don't see Zara Sultana on interviews that much, and the fact that she hasn't had the whip restored to her is a travesty. She's very good at her job. But if you wanna ask yourself questions like, why do they always platform Nigel Farage, right? Ask yourselves, these same YouTubers, they're obsessed with Farage. All they do is cover Nigel Farage. I talk about him because I think it's important to discuss it. I do not have a Blue Sky account. Should I have a Blue Sky account? I talk about Farage because I don't want him to win, and I'm always dunking on the guy. But I also talk about how shit Labour are, right? If we actually look at, let's have a look. My last few videos, right? Let's have a look. Let's see, how often do I talk about Farage there? This is a Starmer video where he talks about NIMBYism. Where I actually defend Starmer a bit in this one. This one's about Brexit. That's about the Spanish PM. That's the trade war stuff. This is Labour being trash. This is Labour being trash. This is Badenoch being trash. Braverman being, wanting that pact. Labour being trash. Braverman being trash. The Tories again. Labour and a really bad interview. Some Labour / EU stuff, more Labour stuff. This one's a neutral story, I guess. That one's international. This one's a Labour piece. This one's about reform. A Tory one. A Labour one. A Tory, a MAGA one. That's what I mean. I do a lot of these stories. They're mixed. Why? Because I cover the stuff that I think is important. I do some stuff because I think it might go viral, but generally I get those wrong. Because I would have thought this one would have done really well. I would have thought this one did really well. But yeah, but it's the media business. That's the thing. Like, a lot of people don't understand. And so with these guys, when they get mad at how much Nigel Farage gets platformed, it's fine, right? But why do you cover the stories you cover then? It's because of money. Let's be honest, it's because of money. So you can't be mad at the media for platforming guys like Nigel Farage for money and clicks when you do the same thing. It doesn't make sense. You can do a mix and say, look, I cover topics that I think are important alongside topics I think that'll go viral. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion, because one funds the other. The less serious stuff, the more sensationalist stuff funds the more serious topics. But if you're a person who, the majority of your work is unserious topics, and the rest of it is maybe some serious stuff, maybe some stuff you cover for Labour, I'm sorry, you're as bad as them. You're in the media business. At the end of the day, like, fair enough, if you're full time and that's your job, that's fine. But own it. Be honest with your people. Be honest with them, your audience, because they fund your lifestyle at the end of the day. So this video here, we'll carry on.
I think this moment was a bit inevitable, because the real shift that we're seeing, which you can see over a longer time period, is this: that we've entered, in voting intention in opinion poll terms, into a period of three-party politics. You can see actually what's going on is that those numbers are pretty close together. Now, at the moment, that's quite good for Keir Starmer, because it means that two of his opponents are split. That is driving a conversation between people in this party and people in this party, whether they couldn't join forces. Imagine if those two numbers, 21% and 25%, could be added together. Some people in the Tory party, like Kemi Badenoch, said no.
Yeah, but that's not really how it works. It doesn't matter. It's not about percentage vote. We saw Labour with 36% of the vote win a stonking majority. We're not in a PR system, Coates. Like, I don't know, the point you're making here makes no sense.
Nigel Farage doesn't appear convinced about that at the moment, but it's the conversation going on in the background.
Can you talk to me about Labour's numbers?
About potentially a merge between the two. I think we'll see a non-aggression pact. That's about it.
As well, because look, they're on 24% now. I mean, how much has Labour fallen since entering government?
I think at the general election, you had Labour in the Well, I mean, effectively, it was in the low 30s to generate an extraordinary majority up in the 160 in terms of the majority that they got in the House of Commons. Now, that has dropped right down. Yeah. It is a government. It is doing unpopular things. That is not hugely surprising, and there are up to 4.5 years until the next election. But I've gone through all the data behind this great big opinion poll, and there are other changes as well. Actually, what's happened, one really interesting switch this week, is that for the first time, Nigel Farage is more popular, or if I'm being accurate, less unpopular than Kemi Badenoch, but both of them are more popular, less unpopular than Keir Starmer. It looks as if Labour have a massive rebuilding challenge to do. They say you do the difficult things at the start of a parliament. There's a big journey left to go.
I mean, yeah, but again, I don't think they've got as much time as they think they do. I'm surprised the Tory party is where it is, being that bad notch, and I think it's just mostly to older people who maybe don't like reform. It's One Nation Tories, isn't it? You know, why are voters choosing Reform UK? Sky's Gurpreet Nawan explains Nigel Farage's notion that Reform UK are the party of the left behind. Again, we've heard that from Donald Trump. For example, this video, let's have a look.
So it's been an extraordinary few weeks for Reform UK. The party has rocketed up the polls since Nigel Farage announced 2 weeks ago that he was taking over as leader.
You know, if I had a setup like this, I would just have a wheelie chair and a pointy stick.
As leader.
Man, I'd love that.
Our latest polling suggests Reform can get 5 seats. That's 5 more than we were predicting at the start of the campaign, and they include places like Claxon in Essex, Boston and Skeg.
Oh, I realised this video is from last year, my bad. Oops. But yeah, you know, this is it. This is the poll I was talking about. And this is where the fear-mongering sets in, because, you know, to make the argument, all of this, for some reason, this person's used purple for Reform and it should be light blue, and they're trying to say, based, you know, kind of on current polling, Reform UK would end up with this much. And I said this is cap, because this is not how the voting system works. Like, this is actual scaremongering here, and so it's a bit frustrating when you see that. So this right here is just nonsense. To put data out like this is extremely disingenuous, in my opinion. So I don't know why they've done this. Very stupid, in my opinion. Yeah, and this is Kay Burley going. It's very weird. Like I said, something weird's going on at Sky News.
So just before we end today's programme, a couple of moments to reflect on the past 36 years here at Sky News, our birthday today. From a standing start to one of the most recognised and valued brands in global news, it's been
if you're comparing yourself to like Russian news or like Chinese news, unfair.
An honour and a privilege to work with some of the best and hardest working teams in the business. News, by its very nature, is often devastating, and together we've covered so many life-changing events, from the tragic death of Diana, the shocking terror attack of 9/11, the Asian tsunami, the Concorde air disaster. But we've also enjoyed some wonderful high notes too.
This feels weird. The way she's reading this is so bizarre. It's so bizarre.
Haven't we? The thrill of London winning the chance to host the 2012 Olympics, a plethora of royal weddings, jubilees, and who can forget days and days and days of waiting for royal babies to arrive.
Okay, I'm going to die if I watch any more of this, so we're going to leave that out. But point being is, you know, we'll circle back to this actually at the end, because it's worth discussing. I'm not sure how long I'm going to go on for here, but point being is, yeah, no. Like, she's very sudden. It's very weird. Yeah, you know, discussing the Labour Party as well, like we've got Yanis here.
The United Kingdom has a serious realisation problem. The United Kingdom has for too long relied on a Ponzi scheme that involves house prices that are unsustainable, remaining unsustainable for a very long time. It relies on a flow of capital which does not materialize in the form of productive investments. The fact that they ditched the Green New Deal, those 5 billion pounds, which were not enough, even before they got into government, is indicative of the fact that this is a clueless government. They have no plan to create something like an investment bank, the equivalent of the European Investment Bank, that in association with the Bank of England could channel the very large amount of liquidity that exists in the City of London in productive ways. They talk about growth and investment, but there's absolutely nothing I see in there except for recessionary, contractionary measures like the increase in the national insurance contributions, which was a suicidal move by Rachel Reeves. I think this is the increase in the national insurance contributions, which was a suicidal move by Rachel Reeves.
Giannis is very left-wing, talking about this tax on business being incredibly stupid.
I think this is the fastest sinking, newly elected by a landslide government in the history of the United Kingdom.
No, it's facts. It's straight facts. He's not wrong. Starmer's government votes to block a UN plan to tackle global tax avoidance, and he's just like, what is going on here? The UK joined with the US and a handful of other rich nations to reject, the UN push, and then someone's saying it's been debunked, and then they don't really say where. So, it's already been deleted. Also, we gave public spending the largest, so be better. So again, there's no actual evidence of anything that they're saying here. So I'm gonna take this as true, given that it's from Byline as well. They're saying Byline missed, unless they've taken the article down. They haven't, so there's no. We've correct a reference. The shadow Foreign Secretary Lammy is, of course, Foreign Secretary. There's no correction to this. So Starmer's government's facing criticism on its opposition to a United Nations tax reform plan. So again, people are saying this is nonsense, but yeah, they haven't stated any evidence to it. You got Rachel Reeves touting more kind of vicious cuts to this stuff. Labour touts more brutal cuts to benefits. And how is it different from life under the Tories? And this person, Frances Ryan, I think she's a person who's disabled. She's a person who probably will have to deal with these kind of cuts. And you've got people like Phil who keep downplaying this kind of stuff. And you're just like, okay, here we have someone who's who actually lives with this stuff, and a person who is a writer. Why won't you address anything she's saying? This newspaper's free. This op-ed's free. You can click on it and you can read it. She's talking about Rachel Reeves, the third runway, which is nonsense. I think I've got a video coming out on that, or it's already out. The phrase didn't just claim that economic benefits of big money infrastructure projects would somehow trickle down to workers struggling to pay rent, which obviously we know isn't true. But anyone who didn't do their duty for the labour market, say people too disabled or ill to work, family carers and job seekers, should expect little from Labour. Reeves committed to keeping the £3 billion of disability benefit savings the Conservative government planned. It is now expected that a package of spending cuts will be finalised in the next fortnight in what the Times described as a radical overhaul of welfare that could see hundreds of thousands of disabled and chronically ill people lose their benefits. So again, for the people who are downplaying some of this stuff, I think it's shocking, in my opinion. I'd be embarrassed if I were them. I'd honestly be embarrassed. I'd be ashamed if I was their man there, honestly. Because here you have someone who's talking about this stuff who has much more in terms of expertise than they do. And yet all you're doing is I applied for a job, they want me to have lower pay than I had over 10. That's nuts. So here she mentions it. So under one reportedly being considered, the universal credit limited capability for work or work-related activity category would be abolished, which would require often severely disabled or ill people to make preparations for work. That could see claimants lose about £5,000 per year. At the same time, personal independence payments, which pays for some extra cost of disability and is unrelated to whether someone is in work, is said to be lined up for an overhaul, with those with conditions such as depression and anxiety, the fastest growing reasons for disability benefits, likely to be targeted. Because again, you can't really tell if someone's got depression or not. There's no way to definitively prove if someone has depression or not, or even anxiety or not, because these are mental health conditions. You really can't prove it. Options being looked at include one-off rather than monthly payments for some, or means testing. Again, means testing has a cost. Vouchers for specific equipment or aids instead of cash, as planned by Rishi Sunak last year. And again, I don't think doing vouchers is the worst thing, as long as it covers it and those vouchers aren't bungs to big business. Because the government could get vouchers at a discount instead of just paying straight cash. But if it's just a bung to a company, I wouldn't want to see that. Because you can do this in such a corrupt way where, this person's a Labour donor, for example, all the vouchers for, I don't know, a chairlift or whatever is going to go to this specific company. If any of this feels familiar, it's because it is, and not just because it was only a decade ago that the coalition government was reforming the system. Since the election last year, Labour ministers have been drip-feeding rumoured benefit crackdowns to the right-wing press, and this is kite flying. That's what this is. That's why they keep briefing the Times. It's kite flying. From specific plans to remove fraudsters' driving licence to vague pledges to get hordes of people off out-of-work sickness. The point of these constant briefings may seem baffling, but there are two likely explanations: testing the waters before announcing firm policy, kite flying, and or communicating a message. For the latter, just look at the seemingly innocuous lines in the Times story. Ministers have told business leaders that changes to PIP eligibility will be the first priority in spending cuts in March, as Reeves is desperate to reassure city bosses that welfare savings will cool the need for a tax-rising emergency budget, because they don't know what they're doing, guys. They're honestly, this lot are lost. They're lost. You know, when they did the national insurance cut, they never really explained how that's going to actually boost the economy, beyond saying it's going to go to the NHS. That's one of the things that I think shook up the market as well. You know, Reeves' weekend changes to non-dom status as well. It's just, the more you read this article, the more sad it makes me, and that's the thing with the Labour Party. It does make me sad, because they're useless. They don't know what they're doing. I think they're trash. I think they're trash, Brock. That's what I think of them. You got here, Starmer is facing criticism from within the cabinet over the Chagos deal. One person says they don't understand why the UK is sending so much money to Mauritius when the Treasury is asking departments to make brutal spending cuts at home. Another says Starmer should cancel the deal. They blame both the situation on legal advice from Richard Hermer, the Attorney General, but a source insists the UK isn't doubling the payment to Mauritius and it won't be 18 billion. And then he got Henry Zeffman, who's a BBC correspondent, quoting very senior government sources, saying the Chagos Island deal is terrible, mad, and impossible to understand via Blewett Sam Playbook. Who's that? Okay, Playbook author. So you've got three journalists here. Two of them are quite big. Alex Wickham of Bloomberg. He's definitely big dog, like the amount of stories but him and Bloomberg release. And then you got Henry Zeffman, big dog as well. And Zeffman talking about this. The government has denied it's paying more in a renegotiated deal over the Chagos Islands after comments it made to Mauritius PM. And it could be this story is fake, or it could be the fact they're backpedaling and trying to renegotiate a deal because they realise the optics of this is terrible. That's the problem. Mehdi Hasan saying, insane how badly Labour and Starmer performed since coming to office. Mehdi Hasan, a guy who's, I think, focused on American politics and also the Middle East rather than on the UK, which I do miss him because he's one of the best around. This argument that people keep making about Labour being misrepresented in the media, it's like you literally have access to any news show in the country. Like, ministers go on to the news rounds pretty much most days in the week. If the media has represented them unfairly, I need someone to explain me how. Because you're literally there all the time. If you can't argue against the absolute dirt, the trash journalists we have on TV, you shouldn't be in a job, mate. Let's be honest. What did happen to fully funded, fully costed? Lord Ali blocked plans by Angela Rayner to block foreign cash from British politics. She had to scrap December 23 announcement with Gordon Brown at Chatham House. We obtained papers that policy would have stopped Musk donations. So again, this is a big story, right? Came out on the 3rd of Feb. Where are the goons? Why are they not covering this stuff? It's wild. Ava talking about red on red shortly in the Commons. Labour's Andy MacDonald to ask Foreign Secretary to make a statement on Israel-Palestine. This story from the BBC actually pissed me off, so I'll just throw this in here. The Swedish school shooter versus the BBC headline. So this is the school shooter. This actually, do you know what? We'll talk about this here. Because this story, it all makes sense at the end. So Reform UK can win scores of Labour seats in England and Wales, says a study. Yes. So Labour faces losing scores of seats to Reform UK across England and Wales. A widening section of voters lose faith in the mainstream parties, according to new analysis seen by the Observer. So what you've got here is what you have here is basically people who probably voted Tory, didn't work for him, voted Labour, not working for him. So they're going to look at the third guy, the new guy, Reform. Senior figures in the party now privately talking about a change of era in which more moderate voters are turning to Nigel Farage's party. New research on reforms. Excuse me. suggest it will take more seats from Labour than from the Conservatives on current trends. Reform would win 76 seats if an election were held now. Again, they've got a constituency by constituency model. So, okay, we'll have to see that. Of those, 60 would be won from Labour, including seats across the Red Wall. Essentially, this is like how Trump ate into the Rust Belt. That's what this is. And that's also revealed that even a relatively small further swing towards reform from Labour could see a party pick up another 76 held Labour seats. So I think Labour would still be no, they wouldn't have a majority, actually. It's commissioned by Hope Not Hate campaign group. It's been carried out by God knows who the fuck they are. So if we look at here, Labour would not have a majority in this case. They'd be on 287. I think to have a majority you need like 300, 330 I think it is, the number. 330. So they were quite positive about immigration, in favour of a strong state, but disillusioned with the ability. Wait a minute. They were quite positive about immigration. That doesn't sound right. They're talking about reform voters. Its analysis: 4,000 voters minded to back reform found 1 in 5 were moderate interventionists. Voters who, unlike who backed Farage last time or UKIP in the Brexit party, they were positive about immigration and in favour of a strong state. This is bizarre. But disillusioned with the ability of the main parties to deliver. So this is interesting. So you can't even argue all of these people are racist. Because they're apparently positive about immigration. I have to see what they mean by that. In favour of a strong state, though, that means a state that can actually do stuff and deliver things. The analysis comes with some of the most senior figures in the Labour Party focused on the threat posed by reform, which many see as a result of collapse in mainstream parties being able to improve the lives of ordinary people, which is true. But again, doing a third runway on Heathrow is not it. It's not going to solve a lot of the issues. They spent so much capital. They're spending so much capital on this, literally and metaphorically, in terms of the stuff they're doing here. It's crazy. There's a lot of resources going on fighting this case. So it's gonna. So I'll just get a message on Discord. And I'm struggling a bit here, but they just don't get it, man. They don't get it. So you can see here, it's not good for the Labour Party. It's not. Like, Reform UK will eat them alive in the Red Wall. And are they going to be the biggest party? Yes. Would they have to go into coalition? Yeah, even then, they wouldn't be able to get a majority. Let's see. Oh, no, if they went into coalition with the Lib Dems, they probably could, yeah. But that's it. That's their only way. Miliband is right over here. Oh, mate, don't talk about my goat, fam. That shit makes me so sad. My goat, Ed Miliband. He's done. He's washed. My goat is washed. Tragic. Just tragic. Bridget Phillipson accused of having Marxist ideological dislike of academies by Tory linked head to. Haha, that's funny. That's funny. So what's attracting the 24% of Britons to Reform UK? I tried to find some data on this. It's quite difficult to find. I saw people had like polling up, but I couldn't quite find where they had found the polling from. Sorry, words again. Yeah, it's what happens when I stream after work. So Reform UK's difference and immigration policy are the most common attractions to the party. So their first one is YouGov's AI language model has sorted into the below categories. Oh, okay. Okay, this could be skewed. It depends. It's not Labour or the Conservatives. Another party needs to go. So again, Labour washed. Their policy on immigration. So again, I don't know if they're pushing the 1 in 1 out policy again. Being different, new approach, and change. So they're the two biggest here. Or two of the biggest. So it's just there's no faith in the political system, and that's a lack of Labour really pushing on this stuff. Honest, trustworthy, common sense. Now, those are not three things I would associate with Ticey and Nigel Farage. General policies, values, they're washed. Best for the country, washed. Represent average working Britons, yes, privately educated people representing the average Briton, nice. Not Labour, not left wing, they're fucking morons. Not conservative, true conservative values, morons. Leadership, Farage, morons. Other, also morons. So voters are not yet locked in at 28%. So they do talk about some of the reasons people don't like reform, I think. What are the main reservations for those considering vote reform? So you said previously that you would consider voting for Reform UK. What would you say is your biggest reservation? So the reasons why people are a bit nervous about them: lack of governing experience, true. Might be a wasted vote, true. Worry they'll be the same as the rest. Too right wing. Dislike Farage, yep. I dislike Farage as well. Poor candidates, true. Vague policies, true. They'll be sabotaged by media, deep state, idiot. Concerns about racism, true. Farage association to Musk and Trump, true. Immigration policy, true. But again, why would you go to them if you were nervous about their immigration policy? Policies on the NHS, he wants a more privatised system. Other policy complaints, country won't be able to run, okay? So yeah, this is all interesting polling from them. Good stuff. So this guy giving probably the dumbest take we're going to hear all day.
Even though I do not like Nigel Farage, I'll probably vote for him because we've got hospitals falling apart, not enough doctors, nurses, schools falling apart, roads falling apart, not enough houses. That uncontrolled immigration is starting up. I'm not about stopping immigration. The country needs migrants, so I accept that. Some of the best people I work with are foreign nationals.
Oh, of course they are, yeah. I'm not against immigration. Some of the best people I know are bloody foreigners.
But mass uncontrolled migration between...
We literally have, we have higher immigrations now, numbers now than we did when we had freedom of movement, but also there are controls on it. It's the points-based system. If you don't want certain types of people to come in, you just change the points. If you want more skilled people to come in, you just change the points. It's not mass uncontrolled immigration.
Between 500,000 and 1 million people pound a year coming into the country when we ain't got enough homes for our own people.
Yeah, because we don't build enough homes for people, you dumbass.
Of course, Brian, in order to build those homes, we'll probably need migrants because we don't have enough people. We don't have enough builders and plasterers and all the rest of it. The housing sector have been very clear about that.
No one in their right mind wants to stop migration, even thinks it can be stopped. I'm on about mass uncontrolled migration.
We don't have that. Good old please push back.
Keep getting called far right. I'm not.
You sound it.
I'm right wing, always have been. I'm a Tory. But the more we get called the far right, extreme right, the more right we go. The
more you call me a Nazi, the more likely I am to become a Nazi, is the argument this guy might as well make. And here we've got Ticey. This is kind of the stupidity of the media.
3 million fewer jobs, according to Cambridge Econometrics. 32% lower investment, 5% lower exports, 16% lower imports, £311 billion worse off by 2035 because we've left the EU.
And it's just complete nonsense. I mean, this is twaddled by Ramona institutions that just can't accept the fact that we've left. And actually, we've now got great opportunities.
Where? Great opportunities where? What opportunities are these?
We should grab them and thrive.
Like what?
The issue with Brexit is that the Tories utterly failed, having taken us rightly out of the EU, to take advantage of it, to do the things that they promised.
Like what?
Control immigration.
We have a points-based system, which is what you guys wanted originally.
Get rid of daft EU laws.
Like what?
Lower taxes, and that's how you grow an economy. You can't tax your way out of a crisis.
So we don't need experts, as somebody famous once said, is what you're suggesting there. Let me just quote Bloomberg to you, though. Found that Brexit is costing the UK economy £100 billion a year.
Again, I mean, this is the same Bloomberg that told us that we shouldn't leave the EU. Of course they're going to
Yeah, because they were right, dumbass.
Do that. But all the city... Do you remember when the city said that we were going to...
making it up, are they?
I'm afraid to say, actually, bluntly, they are.
Nah, bro. We know who your source is.
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
We know who your source is. Let me replay that.
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Your source is you made it the fuck up, dog. That's who your source is.
So you're suggesting that Bloomberg are making up those
garbage.
figures?
I just come back to the simple fact.
You're saying that Cambridge Econometrics are making up those
actually.
numbers?
It's garbage.
What about the Centre
Well, I mean, they're estimates, so...
It's complete garbage. What they're not focusing on is Germany. Germany is in deep recession, and we need to do as much as we can to get away from that.
Okay, what about Italy? What about Spain? What about France? You know, all you do is focus on Germany. I get why you'd be obsessed with Germany, given your boy Elon Musk is as well, for different reasons. For different reasons, sure. You know, but I get your obsession with Germany. Let's talk about the other EU member states. They seem to be doing okay. Why are we not? Are you obsessed with Germany because their economy is bad, or is it for other reasons, Tice?
Drag ourselves nearer. The last thing we should be doing is tying ourselves to ever more net zero EU carbon policies that add costs to our businesses. We need to scrap net zero to get lower costs.
Again, and be reliant on the global fossil fuel market when we saw gas prices skyrocket.
Reduce bills, reduce the cost of living. That's what ordinary people in my constituency...
And you can see why these guys are doing well in polls. Because I'm glad she's retired, by the way. Because this lot are so fucking dog shit at doing their job right. They're so trash. Even Goodall with that cool. They're so trash at dealing with the right wing and dealing with these people in interviews. They just let them walk all over them. She's not even pushing back. And you wonder why Reform are doing so well. It's because you platform these people with no pushback. This is why. You look at this, people are sick of the main two parties. You give them Reform. You constantly platform Reform. And they seem like the only viable option because they're the ones on TV all the time, giving really just fluff interviews. It's trash. It's so trash. You know, him talking about the energy prices as well, right? And Martin Lewis talking about this, saying, you know, why aren't people calling out the corporate greed? And he's right, it's because it's irrelevant. Energy market firms' job isn't to keep prices low, it's to make as much money as they can for their shareholders. You know, we as a nation sold them off in privatization. Their whole job is to make profit for shareholders. If they don't make the profit for shareholders, I think they can face, I think there's legal action because CEOs have a fiduciary responsibility to maximize profit, but also they'll get voted out. It's not hard to understand this. The price cap isn't set by firms, they aren't increasing it, it's set by the regulator. It's a turgid system that was pushed on regulation by a past government. It's allowed firms to price to the max of the cap without pushing them hard enough to offer cheap deals. I've long campaigned for change both in public through official submissions and in private, so much so I ended up losing my rag and publicly apologised for swearing in a meeting with Ofgem. We need a social tariff. I don't think a social tariff can be enough. What we need is some sort of nationalisation, or we need a public option. That's what we really, you know, if you don't want to nationalise stuff, do a private option where they charge cheaper rates, where, you know, the public option doesn't try and maximise profit, offers good deals and a good service to customers. And I guarantee you, customers will flock to it. I guarantee you, if the government rolled in, you know, a significant amount of chunk into a public option, they could undercut the market very easily. And that's how you can do privatisation. You know, it'll take a nationalisation. It'll take longer, but all you do is you bankrupt these companies because they can't compete if you're charging a much lower rate. And as long as it makes profit, that goes back to the taxpayer. We could have nationalised Octopus Energy, for example. Could have nationalised that and used that as a springboard, but you know the Tories and Labour and the infinite stupidity didn't do that. They bailed them out instead. Labour ain't into public options, because they're idiots. That's why the real excess profits aren't made by energy retailers, the regulated ones, who supply us as consumers, but by the generators who aren't regulated by Ofgem. Though in some cases, horizontal integration means they are the same firm but aren't legally allowed to cross-subsidise. That would be like, I think, British Gas and Centrica. Our wholesale pricing structure has rewarded them by paying the highest priced gas, even when there are far cheaper sources. Though that's outside my expertise area, so don't comment on it much, which is true. Again, we're paying even though solar is cheaper, we're paying them the same rate as we'd pay gas, for example. The whole consumer energy market is mostly broken. We have a model based on competition, but then 80% of homes are on regulated pricing, possibly the worst of worlds. The issue with the regulator and politicians and governments of all colours is to put the structures in place to protect consumers. So I don't know if NJ replied to this. No, someone had a good reply to this. I can't remember who it was. This is, you know, they're talking about ethnically cleansing Gaza here. So we'll move on to the segment of, yeah, this shit pisses me off. And kind of, you know, why I think one of the reasons why I've stopped live streaming isn't just because it's time consuming. My life's busy now. Like, so it's so busy. And you see news stories like these, you're just like, what the fuck is going on in the world? Like, honestly, you don't hear me cuss a lot. It's very rare as well, but it's just like, what is going on here? You know, you got to hear Trump talking about ethnically cleansing Gaza to the point where, you know, I don't know if America's going to steal the land or if you know, it's going to be given to Israel. I have no idea what's going on here. It's nuts. You know, Trump sitting next to the person who turned Gaza into an unlivable hell with US support. He's talking like it's a natural disaster. And this is a guy who has an arrest warrant for him. And now we're really onto the shit that pisses me off. You know, this you know, there was a school shooter in Sweden. This is the guy who did the shooting. This is the picture the BBC put up. He had nothing to do with it. He's the guy they interviewed about the shooter. It's crazy. Like, they should not have used this picture. They knew exactly what they're doing. The headline and photo designed to look like he was the shooter. And this guy saying I disagree is like, no, like anyone who reads this, sees this headline, sees this picture, they're gonna see this guy here. That's it. Yeah, it's not. It pisses me off because people are gonna jump to this. They already have done. It's crazy. Yeah, this guy talking about they changed it. They didn't. That's just it pisses me off so much. They've done this. They did this with the guy who stopped the stabbing in London last year. I remember because my friend sent me that story. They used a picture of the guy who stopped the stabbing, and it made it look as if he was the one who committed it. It's so stupid. This is just massively just disingenuous. And go on, we've got this moron talking about how the single market stuff again.
We, on the other hand, at least agree about what is to be done. Well, we should just join the EU. There are some who would be happy just going back to
it's that easy, isn't it?
Single market and customs union, I guess. It could be argued that had we just left the EU as the referendum required, and that was it, we'd have remained in the single market and the customs union, the arguments would be much more nebulous about going back because we would still be in the single market, would still be in the customs union. I would argue that we should still be in the EU because it would mean we were following market rules and tariffs set by other people and we're not really having much of a say in that. But the economic impact would be negligible and the political impact would be similarly fairly minor. I'll tell you what was interesting though. I'm going to discuss this maybe a little bit more in the third video, but the latest polling from YouGov, now that showed 55% wanting to join the EU, but only 50% wanting to join the single market on its own. I thought that'd be the other way around. That's interesting. I have to say, I think from my own point of view,
we can't rejoin the single market like that. We might not even be able to join the customs union, to be honest with you. We're going to struggle to get into that pan-European agreement. But it's like, my guy, like, we can't, and you should explain this to your audience whenever you mention it, especially given you're one of the main people who pushed the misinformation around it, but you didn't.
It may be easier to just join the whole EU rather than just trying to get a single market only deal.
I'm sorry, what? We've gone through this. I literally explained it to you, to your face. I explained this to you.
Might be call it EU rather than just trying to get a single market only. Easier to just join the whole EU rather than just trying to get a single market only deal. Might be quicker as well. But interesting that more people want to join the EU fully than just the single market. Maybe
it might be because they might have more brains than you and understand, like, we wouldn't have a veto. I doubt it. But again, like, you're making it out like these are options here. Like, they're really not.
Maybe the extra 5% realise that full members don't just benefit from the largest and richest free trade area in the world. Because remember, even the United States is not a single market. They have trade borders within their own country. But if you're an EU member, you get to decide the rules. As members of only the single market, we would not really have a say in those rules. But Brexiteers haven't a clue, have they? Like, where's their plan?
Again, like, you're talking about rejoining the single market again. I just don't. And this, I mean, like, it's the same thing over and over again. And we'll play one more, and then I'll show you the clip that I actually that I tried to load up at the start of this. It's just tragic. And you got, someone else here who, I told you guys from the start, right? I told you guys so long ago, probably last year, what's going on, my issues with the Labour Party and things like that. And I did it. I think a lot of the other people, I didn't watch all their content and things like that. But no, Justice is definitely another one. I think the guy from Turn Left, those guys from Turn Left, the people from Turn Left, just loads of other media outlets. Like, we kept telling you for ages, this lot, they can't be trusted. They're not good people. They're not going to do the things you want them to do. Got called Tory enablers. Okay. So now you've got someone who's actually figured out, in the space of 7 months, they're not going to get the things that they want. Her arguing Reform UK has the press following them about, like, they're the Spice Girls. So Labour improving finances isn't enough. I kind of disagree with that. Biden fixing the economy didn't stop Trump. Yeah, because inflation was rampant in America. Like, inflation was so bad in America. It didn't matter if your GDP goes up. Like, no one cares really if you have growth in the economy. All people care about is growth in their pay packets. And the only thing America saw is growth in food prices. So, like, that argument is just so stupid. So stupid. It's a disinfo war. Not massively, because Trump was talking about they eating dogs and cats or something, and everyone's like, yeah, we know that's not true. He's just trolling. Press reform, the bare minimum. Again, Labour have ruled out Leveson 2. I've already done a video on that. So again, they're not going to do that. Their approach to, I think that's SM is single market and comms is dire. And again, like, we can't just rejoin the single market. So what do you want their approach to the single market to be? Unless SM means something else. Oh, it could be social media actually, not single market, social media. That's my bad. That's what happens when your Brexit build. Their approach to social media and comms is dire. Again, I said that when they did the Sunak poster saying he's on the side of pedophiles. That's when I told you their social media is really bad. That poster's racist. That's what I told you guys. You know, bending over to appease Murdoch. That's, again, we saw that because they kept briefing the Times. We knew they were trying to. Oh my god. This is what I've been warning you guys about for a long time now. A long time I've been telling you guys about these issues, and then no one listened. And then all you had is these people calling us Tory enablers. You had this person here, Dansky, talking about, oh, they got a secret plan. There's a secret plan to push the Labour Party to the left. That plan is so secret, even she doesn't know what it is. You know, they talked about, you know, getting into the party. They had, you know, things they're going to put in motion. Where's the motion? What's this? What's going on? I don't get it. You know, bending over to appease Murdoch or trying to imitate the right wing will not help matters. Again, I said that as well when they were talking about cutting immigration and things like that. You don't beat Farage on his own turf. You don't outright wing the right wingers. You don't deal with full fat Coke by trying to be Diet Coke. It don't make sense. The billionaire press barons only care about money. Again, shock. No one's surprised by that. Not policy or even Britain. Well, obviously, they're press barons. They're billionaires. How do you think they become billionaires? Do you think they care about policies or Britain? No. All they care about is no press reform. They don't want no press reform, and they want tax cuts. That's all they care about. They want to be able to funnel their money. That's the only things they care about. Nothing else. They don't really care about society. They want to get people divided a bit so people forget about them. But that's it. It's money. How do you think you become a billionaire? You're obsessed with money. Or you inherit it because someone else is obsessed with money. We need a government that takes a firm stand for the majority and remembers its roots. What roots? They got rid of a lot of left-wingers in the party. There's, you know, you can talk about these people being working class or, you know, their roots being working class, but they're not really. Not anymore. It's madness. And you got her talking about not Poundland, One Nation Tories. Again, that's what they were telling you they were going to be from the start. They are talking about cutting benefits and things like that. And Rachel Reeves been saying that for over a decade now. Where were you when all of this was happening? It's crazy. Like, people who do media stuff full time are so far behind me, who's part time. Literally, I'll be honest, guys, yeah? I do all of the videos that I put out, I do in about a day. And I batch render them, right? Maybe one day I'll show you my work process. But I can show you this, right? No, I'll show you. See if I can show you. Because, you know, this is one of the reasons why I don't live stream anymore. Because it's too time consuming. It's either I put out content or I live stream. That's how it goes. So let's see if I can bring up my. This is gonna work. Oh, okay. Look, this is what I'll show you guys. Look, all of these videos, right, were done in the space of a day. Can you see that? All of these were done in the same day. Just record them all. Save them on Twitter. The clips I want to use. Record them all, and then I'll just batch render them at the end of the day. Like, that's why I'm behind on everything, and that's what annoys me. That it's like, I don't get how you're this far behind the curve, right? You're about at least a year behind me, and this is what you do full time. You make content, or you're on social media or whatever. I don't think you've got a 9 to 5, right? How are you this far behind me when I told you last year they're One Nation Tories? It's crazy to me. It's just not viable, mate. I'll talk about that in a minute. I just, wow. It's not even sad. It's embarrassing. I'll be honest. Like, if this was me, I'd quit. I'd quit social media. I would change my online name. I wouldn't make politics videos again. I'd go do something else. I saw that today. His comms was awful. Did he forget his script? He talked about Build, baby, build, says Prime Minister. He sets out nuclear plan. He's trying to copy Trump. I don't get it. You know, Trump was talking about drill, baby, drill, or something like that. He's trying to copy thingy Trump. And that's why he's going after NIMBYs and stuff like that. It's just that's literally all it. Greenpeace says Prime Minister has swallowed industry spin whole after plans. That's really weird phrasing, that is. Pause. Keir Starmer has channeled his inner Donald Trump and promised to build, baby build, in his push for more nuclear power stations, despite warnings. And again, like, nuclear power stations in tandem with green energy works, but if you're going to do it just this, it's not going to work. It's going to cost a fortune as well. Like, who's paying for this? Now, formally announcing the plans on Thursday, however, Starmer insisted the recent glacial pace of nuclear power development was precisely why things had to change. And the reason he's doing this is because they want to look busy. That's why they're doing this new runway on Heathrow. We know Hinkley Point C is not financially viable. The amount we're paying for the energy is far higher than the actual rate for energy, and we're offering them a fixed price. So even if the price of energy goes down, at Hinkley Point C would still pay them a much higher rate. It's crazy. You know, again, I don't even know, like, where are they building these plants? Like, who's funding this? Who's funding this? We're going to take on the blockers so that we can build. Who's funding this? I don't get it. You know, Starmer hints that people could get lower energy bills. Hey, James Holt, big up, another a member, a membership, another month, member for 9 months. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. So they present as facts which are merely optimistic conjecture on small nuclear reactor costs. Mike Childs, head of Friends Earth, again, like, here it goes. Look, Hinkley Point C in Somerset, which is a decade late and almost £30 billion over budget, makes HS2 look like a runaway success. If ministers want to build a clean, affordable and energy secure future, they should look on renewables such as wind and solar and better energy storage, not the overblown, costly hype offered by the nuclear industry. You can do the two together, that's fine, but who's paying for this? Like, honestly, who's paying for these nuclear power plants? I don't know. So yeah, it's a nonsense. And then you got Labour has made repeated catastrophic errors regarding comms. This is the bit where I'm actually covering these tweets. This is the bit that makes them worth talking about. Employing agencies over working class self-made content creators with organic reach. Now, I can't sit here and say that Labour did fund certain content creators, right? I can't say that they were social with those guys, right? And funded them, okay? But what I can tell you is clearly someone here is mad that those content creators aren't getting the money. We are paying for these follies, true. Now, I think someone's mad that these content creators aren't getting paid by the Labour Party or hired by the Labour Party. And, you know, the argument is, we got organic reach. You know, we know how to build platforms. Partly true. But why would they, who would they hire in the space? There's only one guy worth hiring, and he ran to be an MP and he didn't get on the shortlist. That's Phil. He'd be the only guy worth hiring. He's the only guy with a brain. Graham, trash. Tansky just swears loads and just causes constant stink on social media. Absolute glass cannon. Bowler Hatman, the biggest clown outside of any circus, or even inside any circus. So who are they supposed to hire that's meant to be so good at comms? You know, none of these people are that experienced on comms. All they do is go on Twitter all day to talk nonsense. It's complete garbage. It will be their downfall. Their downfall will be not improving people's lives. That will be their biggest downfall. And they should be taking victory laps every time they get something good done. Not a fourth run on Heathrow. No one cares. You know, there's a narrow window for them to turn it around, but it's getting smaller by the day. God help us all. Well, unless you're hoping for divine intervention, it's not going to happen. So, again, I warned you guys about this probably over a year ago. I know, definitely I did. Definitely I did, right? Yeah, he does try his best. Oh, it does feel like it. But again, like, it's like, okay, like, we're going in a cycle here. Like, we go back through the stuff I've talked about, right? This stuff here, fucking hell, like, this is crazy. This here, the media being dog shit, you know, just straw manning an Asian brother for no reason, crazy. This brother here talking about rejoining the single market when he knows we can't, and he's not dispelling it, crazy. Back a few years ago when I had to debate him on this. You got this person here who's finally realised that the Labour Party are being a Poundland one nation Tories, as she puts it, right? I told you this a year ago, before the election happened. They're doing all this, but not completing HS2. True. I told you guys, and this is why this shit pisses me off, because I think this should be it. I'm gonna mute it quick so I know it's the scene. Great, there's no subtitles. This is literally my life. I'm fighting for my life out here. Like this is genuinely what it feels like at times. Not being. Come on, man. You know I get PTSD every time. Okay, I mentioned him actually, but it's not an issue. But you know what's funny? West Street pushed back on this and said it's not the comms team's fault when there's nothing to communicate, which I think is true. What do you want them to talk about? It's genuinely what it feels like. It's no use. Because it doesn't matter how many times I tell them they're wrong, how many times I correct the record. It doesn't work. It's genuinely what it feels like. Sorry in case it was overly loud, but on like the amount of like, fair enough, I don't put in as much work as I used to because I'm busy. You know, my life's changed a lot over the last year, probably, in terms of priorities and stuff like that. I sound like I had a kid or I've got like a girlfriend, but I don't. But like life's changed a lot in my social life. And yet, you know, these guys are still washed. These guys are still shit at their job. Like they do this full time every day. At least a lot of them do, and they're still fucking dreadful at, you know, news and analysis and communication. Like, you find me a person who's better than me in the space. Probably one or two people in the space, the people who do daily content. I'm not talking about Jimmy the Giant, because that guy's got me wiped down. Like, he's a lot better than I am. But you genuinely find me, name me a better person in the space. There's only one person I could say who's probably better than me, and that it depends on issue for issue. I could probably go toe to toe with them on most subjects, and I still look like I'm doing okay, even though I do this part time. And that is arrogance on my part, 100%. But I worked really hard on the years where I had time, the moments where I had time, in order to cover this. There's probably one person who's probably as good or better than me in the space, depending on topic for topic, issue for issue. But even then, I reckon I could do a good job in any conversation with them. And I'm part-time, guys. I do this once a week. I literally look at the news on the way on the bus. I know who you're talking about, Joe. I know exactly who you're talking about. I literally look at Twitter on the bus when I go to work. I look at Twitter when I come home, and I'll go on it sometimes in the evening, like /night. That's about it. And yet they can't cover the stories I'm covering. It's crazy. That's the person I was thinking of. That's it. That's the only person I could say in the space that's probably as good or better than me. And it depends on the issue. I would say on the EU stuff, I'd probably win that. On the late party, she's probably won that. On a lot of other issues that are current, like especially on Gaza as well, she'd probably win that. But I think I could still go bar for bar, and I think I'd still be okay. Compared to the mauling I gave Phil on Sunday Roast, definitely no chance. But that's what I mean. Like, I'm part-time. I shouldn't be. This lot should be way ahead of me. This lot should be miles in front, because this is all they do all day. Yet their analysis is complete dog shit, because it's the media business. Like I said, you put out several content pieces, and you put minimal effort into them, and you just talk nonsense. You talk nonsense for the whole thing. This, to me, is probably the best analysis she's given. But you know what? It's kind of baked in. It's baked in anger and frustration. This is why she's mad, because I don't think she got hired. That's why. She's not on TV. She's not a big dog. That's why I think she's mad. You know, this argument of hiring these working class self-made content creators to do what? You're going to ruin your integrity. If you get a job with the Labour Party, it doesn't matter if it's for 6 months or for a year, or if you receive funding from them, all your content is tainted. I've got nothing to debate her on, to be fair. We probably agree on most things. I don't watch a lot of Damo's content, but I'll tell you now, I think myself and No Justice probably agree on most things. The only thing we probably disagree on is probably some stuff related to the EU. That's about it, honestly. Like I think we're quite similar, like, ideologically. Like, she's not a person I would want to debate, to be fair. But again, if she's the only one like people can mention then that's it. Like, do you know what I mean? I've been doing this for like 6 years. I think I'm as good as anyone in the space. If you put me against any of the rich boys on TV or the rich ladies on TV, I'm defo cooking them. That's it. Like, it's over. Like, again, I don't really buy Max's argument that the media want Farage to be PM. I think they're just looking for clicks and views. That's all they've ever done. That's the reason why they platformed. It's the reason why they platformed Trump so much. It wasn't because they wanted Trump to be president. They hated him. His views, ratings. All they did was they had no newscaster on. You just push Donald Trump, and that's it. You just have him talk and talk and talk, and people are eating it up. And in the end, it's the media that gave us President Trump, not because they wanted him to be president, but because it was easy money. And that's what it is. It's the media business. It's the media business. That's the thing I need you guys to remember. The news business, like he posted there, oblique. I never forget the great movie, The Running Man. It's nothing personal. It's just ratings. Nothing personal, kid. It's just business. That's all it is, isn't it? And like, if you guys wonder why I don't like stream or why I don't do so much kind of content or whatever, it's because my life's busy. Like, I started playing this card game here, One Piece, a lot more. Whoops, that's the wrong lobby. I'll play a game on stream if you guys want. You guys can watch me lose on stream, but I play that more, like a lot more. Like Saturdays I'll go. There's a card store in town. I want to go to a big tournament in April. I'm so excited for that. I'm nervous because the gap between me and the other guys there is very high. I want to start winning locals. I keep going like 2-2 or 3-1, but I want to win, especially when I'm running best deck of the format. And like in terms of the analytics, like the thing that's important for me is progression. Like as a person, I've made so much progression because of the friends I have. Like genuinely, like I love them so much. But the channel is hard, man. Like I want to see numbers go up. Like I don't. It's not for money because I don't make that much. Like if you look at how much the channel like generates, like month to month, like it's not a lot. Like 40 quid in Jan. Jan's a bad month. December was really bad. Do you know what I mean? Like October was the only month that I made good money, I think. Even like historically, like the channel doesn't generate a lot. So this was 24. It's post-election 255 is crazy. But then after that, it's slowed down. It's bad. And like it is difficult when you want to do content and you don't make anything. Yeah, I think the thing is that I'm used to working at a pace where this is the only way I know how to put content out, unless I go back to doing video essays. But people wanted the reaction stuff. People didn't like the video essays I did that much. But again, even the video essays I put out were still some of the best content pieces that I'll ever put out. Not in terms of delivery or in terms of production value, but in terms of content, in terms of substance. Like the what's it called? My favourite one, Sanity. This one here. I forgot it. Do I have to go on to... Let me go on to content. I'll show you guys. The video I'm so proud of. This is probably my top 3 videos all time. Hurry up, you stupid function. Oh, okay, let me try search for it on here. Let's see what's quicker. This one here, one of my proudest videos that I've ever done. Yeah, I'm surprised as well. Damn, I even put stamps on this. Damn, I'm good. I'm good, guys. I even put stamps on this for you guys. So in this segment, we're going to be discussing Labour. Is sanity the price to pay for power? ? And that's a question we're going to be discussing in this video, especially towards the end of it. So this video will discuss Labour's constant... So I've done video essays and stuff. If you're looking for actual quality, this is as good as it gets. See, bro.
The price to pay.
Oops. And point. Thus, we asked the question.
The price to pay for power.
Or even why you can't just rejoin the single market. That's another one I'm proud of. Can't simply. I really hope it's this. Yeah, again, this one it came out 2 years ago, probably much older than that. When did I release the video? June 2022, so it's almost 3 years ago. If you want to look for quality, I've got that in the portfolio. Honestly, like if I wanted to go back to doing one video a week where I could just do an essay, I probably would. But I'd miss out on so much stuff I actually want to cover. And like I said, like the game's progression, like it's not good. Like and I put out content pretty much every day. Yeah, I mean, like there was a point where I think YouTube just stopped being fun a while ago. I don't know. I don't know how to stop it because otherwise I talk to people about this day to day, and it's nuts. But again, like it's mostly the members. It's like the revenue is so bad at the moment. It's literally the members I have, which I'm grateful for, about the same as the revenue. Like I know people complain, their YouTube revenue is bad or whatever. 25% of my degree is via international politics department at university. People teach us world class. I wouldn't say I'm on the same level as them. Trust me, I know. The professors I had at uni would absolutely cook me, honestly. But the way that if you look at the way the trends are going, like all of this stuff is sensationalist, anti-Labour stuff, like real right-wing anti-Labour stuff, like Labour incentivising immigrants entering the UK, which again is not true. Labour exposed Stephen Dixon gobsmacked as illegal migrant law. He's rattled, demands Labour change their tone. Oh no. But 100,000 people watch this. Garbage. Again, if you look at this, 3 videos on illegal immigration. Nigel Farage hitting almost 900k views on a video. That's crazy. He looks like a prime minister in this kind of clip. That's what he's going for. It's wild. This one here about AOC, it's not really relevant. Where everyone saw it coming except the UK. This is the only one that's kind of sensible. The rest of them are just nuts, like just right wing garbage. And that's what I mean. Like the audience has changed in terms of demographics as well. There's a lot more. If you look at, there was a point where my audience was, I think half were not from the UK, but now it's mostly the UK, which makes sense to be fair, because all the Brexit stuff's gone. There's a lot of Americans watching the channel, Australians, people from Ireland. Ireland's always been like a really kind of big block of viewers. Canada, Germany, the Netherlands, South Africa, India. Like I'm so proud. This is one of the things I'm proudest of. No one from Belgium though. You guys suck. But like, Spain, like, lots of people just watching the channel is great. It's not like a piece to say I'm retiring. It's probably someone asking. No, it's not someone asking when I'm going to jump on the stream. But it's to say, like, not to say I'm just tired or whatever, but it's just, I don't know, guys. It's hard to explain. Like, I think, like, my social life's changed a lot. I have less time, I go Fridays, board games, this game called Arkham Horror. It's really fun. I'm trying to play One Piece. I'll probably play a game on stream. I've got to jump off so I can play League. But point being is, like, a lot of the priorities in my life have changed. And it's just the channel. It's not that I feel like I've completed this. I don't know how to take it further than where I am. And I think I don't want to speak for him, but I think maybe Alex feels like that with the Sunday Roast sometimes. I don't know if that channel's growing. Like I just go there to do my podcast clip, but he's the one. He's the one that's really pushing for it and making things happen there, and we have a certain viewer as well who's helping us get good guests and stuff, which is great. But like when you look at when I look at the channel's analytics, I don't obsess over this stuff because it just does my brain in. But when you look at it over the last week, it's okay. It's talking £8 in a week is a bit shit, but it's coming back a little bit. 6 subscribers in a week, it's a shit. But if you look at it months, like it's down. Like even over the last 90 days, it's been horrendous. And if you think about content, I'm still putting out content a day. It's still like similar content that I've always put out. I don't know if it's stagnation or what. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's really difficult, but it's just not in the best place. I don't know how to fix it, and I don't know if I can or I want to, if that makes sense. Because I love doing this, but I don't know. Like I said, it's about progression. I probably should have hit 9k subs last year. I'll be honest. But there were days where even though I put out content, you can see where I had a break in the summer. There we go. You can see where I had a break in the summer there. That makes sense. You're going to lose a few, but when you look at it, the rest of it is just up, down. Is very zero for a long time now. No new growth for ages. And it's just like it ruins kind of any reason to keep doing it. Like I said, with the revenue, it's not the important thing. Like I'm glad people pay money. Like it's crazy. Like to have someone who's a member here, James Holmes for 9 months. Crazy. To have patrons and stuff like that. People who want to actually give money to support you. It's wild because that's money someone works hard to earn. And they've decided to give me that money. It's nice. But ultimately, it's just the channel's so stagnant, and I don't know. I don't like. Part of it's like, what can I change to fix it? I don't know. Do people want me to react more aggressively to stuff, less? Should I be sensationalist? I don't really want to do that. I just don't know. So when you look at it, it's just like, the growth's pretty shit, and it's like that's I want to see. Like, I want, the one thing I think a lot of YouTubers want is just the subs numbers to go up. It's a nice feeling. It means it feels like you're being validated for the hard work you're putting in. But I probably should have hit 9K last year. I haven't. I don't even know if I'll hit 9K subs this year, guys. If you look at it, month 40, what's that? Less than 40 in a month. If I gain 40, not even that. If I gain 40 a month, would I hit it? Probably by end of probably in the autumn/winter. But they're so stagnant. It feels like compared to other months other years I've had where the channel's done well. Last year was just bad. The Sunday roast is 10 to 13 most done in UK political podcasts. Been working a lot with Alex. 50% of your last guests due to me going out and asking. Yeah, I appreciate that, QA. Like with the roast, the thing is with the roast, I'm not worried about it because it doesn't take up that much time in the week. It's Alex that's driving it. Like I said, with the roast, it's literally about the only work I do is I turn up, I make jokes, I try and give some analysis, and that's about it. Arguably, I think QA, you put in more work to it, honestly. Because I'm just me. I'm the same guy I always am, just in a different setting. That's it. That's all the work I do. So, like, with the live streams, it's a lot of effort. Doing a live stream takes a lot of energy. That's the problem. Yeah, he loves it. Like, he genuinely, he loves, like, his whole concept, his idea to do the roast in the first place. Or he wanted a show to kind of rival the breakfast shows, and he's got it. He's got a good show there. But with this stuff, like with the channel personally, for me, I just don't know. I don't know what to do about it. Like, I'm proud of it. Like, it does feel like in some ways I've completed the game. Maybe that's the problem, where I'm as good as anyone in the space. I think that's a statement I can make proudly. Like, who's better than me apart from No Justice? I don't think there's many people who can say they're better than me. And so that's what I mean, guys. Like, I don't know. Like, it feels like in this arena I don't have much else to prove. And if I'm not doing this just for money or subscriber growth, or if I can't get those things, and I've already proved myself good, what am I supposed to, what can I do at that point? There's so much other stuff I want to do, like, Beyblade's back, we're talking about world championships and stuff like that. I'd love to be able to compete in that. You got One Piece again. I'll just play a game for you guys on stream so you guys can see how bad I am at this game and why I need more practice. And then I've got to jump on League after, but it's like, shit, it's a bad matchup for me. But yeah, honestly, I'd love to have more experts on. There's one I'm trying to get anyways. There's one I was thinking of getting, but it's just a couple of issues with getting her on the stream. That's about it. This one's a difficult matchup for me. Fuck. Whiffed. But yeah, maybe ask Max to be part of your great show. Max will come on like once in a while. You'll see Max. But for now, I think it might be a while. I'm not sure when. Block 2K. So yeah, eventually he'll be back, but I'm not sure when. So I won't overthink it too much. Okay, so how are we going to play this? Watch this, guys. I'm going to do a 4K maneuver. But yeah, you can always send me a DM who you want on the show. I'm going to ask him. Yeah, there's only one person who I think I really want on. That at the moment that I can think of, but I've already spoken to them, and they'll be on eventually. It'll be a while. So yeah, they said an end of. Ooh, I don't think they got Rush. Might take this one. I don't know if that's the right move. So, oh, you bitch. Okay. So I don't really know, like, in that sense. But yeah, no, it's like I said, it's tough, isn't it? But ultimately, like with the channel, like it's in an okay spot, I think. But it's really difficult to figure out like what to do. Okay, guess that makes sense as a move to do. Balance law back. But again, I don't like. Yeah, and just like I said, I'm a bit lost on the channel. It's a tricky one. But yeah, I'll go with him. Who have you asked? I won't tell anyone. Me and Alex have about 4 people lined up currently. There's a expert on Twitter, Dr. Anna Jowazeska. I did ask her about it. I think we're aiming for end of Feb, middle/end of Feb. But we have to wait and see on that. But she's really good. She's very bright. So she's given a lot of advice out for free on Twitter, and I really appreciate that. Oh shit. Cool, I'll take this as well then. That's fine, whatever. That's annoying. Might be just the case of using Laura again. Three to match. Got a bit overboard. Get rid of this. But yeah, I think I've already talked to Alex about her. Videos of people talking about their issues and give them an analysis. I don't know how I'd do that. I don't know what do you mean? Oh, counting out of a swing this big is wild. Oh, they fumbled. They fumbled hard there. That's day 3. They tried to counter, they probably didn't have the cards to do it. Okay, we're at 10 Don, so they might play Don Flamingo. They might play Don Flamingo here. Alright, I'll give you a Perona. Is it Dofi time? Might be. I'll play Dofi or Shanks. Do more videos about people talking about their issues and give them analysis. I don't know how I'd do that. But yeah, we've got a big one lined up for this week, and they've Dofi'd me. We've got a big one lined up for this week, but what's it called? It'll be a while until then. What do I want to do? Make him waste the card. I should have Dofi back next turn. Get rid of him. So yeah. Oops, I didn't know. Should have Professor David Denver at Lancaster Uni may be worth trying to go on. I have no idea who that is. Let's see who he is. Professor David Denver. In I don't. I think he might passed away. People like Gary. Who's Gary? The hell's Gary? Oh shoot! I hate this card so much. Oh, they might have done me here. I absolutely hate this card. Might have to swing big and go for it then. What you got? Go for a big dog and finish. Oh, do you know what? Actually, don't want to waste that. Okay. Law for law. Bounce him. Bounce that. Okay. So. What do we go with? Go Gecko Moria. Get my biggest swinger on. So that's 10. 12. Just go big. We'll go big. What the fuck? What kind of swing? What the fuck? Oh. Okay, so you counter out of that big dog. Need to hit a Brown University president. Yeah, honestly, if there's anyone... Oh, he's a decent guy. That is sad to hear. Honestly, if there's anyone you guys think is worth bringing on, that's fine. I don't mind, but... Yeah, that's it. You're done, bud. I have to cook this fraud. I'll leave Jimbo open in case. There's loads of cool guests we can bring on, but it's just with the roast. I'm not worried, guys. Honestly, I'm not. It's the thing. The thing I'm worried about is the actual channel itself. He might 10 drop do for me again. Oh, I can try and defend it. It's not worth it. It's difficult. Because, like I said, I want to be good at this. Because the big tournament, burning down the house, carbon politics, American power, the almighty dollar, by the European Institute. What is that? Yeah, it's the personal channel I'm worried about the most. More than anything. That's the thing I need to work on. Okay, there's no Dofi. Okay, that's fine. I'll get rid of 2K. Cavendish. Ugh, another blocker. 2 blockers. Shit. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Any Jimbos? No. Okay, it's gonna be slightly difficult. Okay. It's fine, whatever. It feels like such a waste doing this, but we'll do it again. Go. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, it's fine. Go 5. Ah, shit. It's gonna rest. Oh no, I fumbled it, guys. I fumbled. I forgot Bonnie's effect. Oh, so dumb. I've misplayed. I might lose because I misplayed. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, so stupid. Probably gonna take that one. Yeah, I lost because I misplayed, guys. That's on me. You'll destroy him. Or the controversial Professor Goodwill. I don't know who that is. But like I said, this politics stuff is quite easy. That's a weird swing. It's quite easy. It's just people are dumb. I might be able to save this actually. Like people. As long as he doesn't play another. Ah, shit. No, he's cooked me here. I can't swing next turn. That's annoying. Oh, if I had one carrot on field, I would have won. Doesn't really help at all. But yeah, Professor Maj versus Professor Goodwill. Oh no, he's fucked me. Absolutely cooked me because I literally misplayed. This is the problem with playing on sim. Like I do struggle with it. You guys are gonna see me lose in 4K. Nah, GG. I don't wanna. Do you know what? I'll see if he gives me a rematch. He gives me a rematch. I'll take it. Is he gonna give me a rematch? Nah, it's not. Alright, cool. Anyways, guys, that was the point. Cool. Should have messaged my friend, let him know I'm ready for League. I ran over a lot. I told him I'd be on like almost an hour ago. Cool. But yeah, that's the thing. But that's what I mean, guys. Like, just kind of lost faith in the channel. I think like when you look at the analytics as well, it's not good. Like returning viewers, like it was a point where it was decent. Like here, I think it's okay. Like getting new viewers in. There's like a lot of new viewers have come in who haven't watched for a while. But like I don't know, it's not moving. I don't know how to fix it. That's the problem I have. I don't know how to fix it. And like it's kind of with revenue, it's more of a motivation thing. Like it does help, but it's not really what I'm after. It's more just seeing progression. Like when you see certain guys who you're better than just hit high subscriber numbers, it dents your confidence when it either means you're not as good as them, or it means you're just unlucky. Patrick Whitewick, who the hell? Whose mans are these? A landscape. Someone who makes landscape. Why do I want to talk to him? A warning about ley lines. Okay, I see. The biggest reveal. Unbelievable Roman technology. It looks cool, to be fair. Yeah, no, it looks interesting. I'll think about that. But yeah, no, it's just to say like I don't live stream anymore because it's either I do content or I live stream, and like one's more viable than the other. Live streaming just doesn't. It's a lot of energy as well, being used to live stream. Like it's a lot more tiring than you think. Like how like No Justice streams for like 3-4 hours beyond me, honestly. They should build different. I don't know. But point being is like live streaming is the most energy draining thing. I'd rather do a full day's worth of content than live stream from an energy perspective. But I haven't got much more to say, guys. I'm gonna probably call it a day. I think ideally I'll probably do the live streams like once every few weeks, depending on how things go. Maybe do one once every few weeks. But like I said, like it's just even the live stream numbers, like you'd hope they'd be higher, like get more people in. I remember once I think I peaked at like 40 to 50 people. I think it was like a Tuesday. And about 50 people in stream. It was crazy, honestly. I loved it so much. There's so many comments flying around, so much energy, but I don't know. It's hard to explain, but with this kind of stuff, you want to see progression. That's the main problem I have, and there's no progress. I think I've stagnated a bit in terms of content creation. I know like I haven't had any new stuff on the soundboard for ages, but to be fair, my old stuff's pretty good, so it's not that bad. Really. If someone got mad at this this like clip, I was like, oh, stop playing the smoking guy with the cigar. It made me laugh so much. Then he apologised. But like, yeah, it's hard to find motivation when things that just aren't going well. It's a war on so many fronts at the moment. Like, how have you know what I mean? Like this video here, fair enough. It's not the best video. It's not the most interesting video. But how you have like this many subs versus that many views is weird, isn't it? It don't make sense. Yeah, honestly, I'd eat half these people alive. Like, it wouldn't even be fair. But that's what I mean. Like, I don't know when I'll get that chance. Like, would any major news organization hire me? Probably not. So I don't know, man. I don't know where the progression is with this media stuff, and I don't know if it feels like I've just completed the game. That's what it feels like. It feels like I haven't got much else to prove doing this. I think it was in the run up to the election there was an atmosphere that we needed to fight, and now I just feel down. Yeah, I think it's just because it was a loss it was a very hollow victory. Like what did we do? We got rid of the Conservatives, which we wanted. but we ended up with more. We ended up with more conservatism. Like, you defeated the party, but not the ideology. That's the problem. Like, you can't, like, that's all it is. Like, you haven't beaten the most important thing, which is their philosophy. The stuff that made them do the things that they did. That's still here with Rachel Reeves and Starmer and all of those kind of other people. So, what's changed? Austerity won't be as bad this time round. You're going to get some infrastructure projects that you actually want. Social services won't be as bad. Schools and councils and hospitals are going to get funding. The actual basics of a society. That's about it. I haven't given up. I haven't given up on anything, but it's just I need to see. What motivates me is progression. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen, or maybe it's not happened, but I'm slimming down in life. Like, I've lost a lot of weight because it's one of the things I'm actually trying to do this year. In terms of so I'm getting trying to work out more. In terms of my work stuff, it's pretty mid, but it's fine. In terms of like being better at communication and talking to people, I'm trying to do that a lot more. So yeah, like there's a lot I'm trying to do, but it's just with YouTube. It's all I can do is put out content, guys, and just hope people like it. That's it. That's all I can actually do. On a fun note, I think I fractured a rib. My grandson gave his first temper tantrum fight. Jesus Christ, that sounds painful. But yeah, I don't know, guys. There's not much more I can do. I think I just, I've got loads of content saved up. This weekend's gonna be a busy one because I'm going to a big Yu-Gi-Oh thing. I'm gonna go check it out on Saturday. So Sunday I'll probably put out more content, but if you look here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos lined up. Yeah, I think about 5. So that'll take me to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So you'll have content all the way up till Wednesday, really. So it's not that bad. But no, it's just to be honest with you guys, like it's just YouTube. It takes a lot of energy to do, and it's just I don't know like whether it's going to progress. And it might be the case that in a year or two, when people realise Labour are washed, that people see the channel and be like, oh, okay, let's see what's going on here. And I can say, look, I've been covering this stuff for about a year, no, maybe about a few years actually, talking about it. And maybe they'll realise that some of the other guys in the space just aren't good, or are charlatans, or don't know what they're talking about. Maybe that'll happen, or maybe it just stays as it is. I don't know. The only thing that remains is I'll still keep putting out content, I think, for a while at least, and just see where the channel goes. But in terms of live streaming, it'll be a while until I live stream. I think, like I said, it just takes too much energy and too much time compared to just putting out regular content and trying to keep the channel going. Because it's not live streams what keeps the channel alive. It's just regular content that the algorithm can consume. That's what it's about. As far as I'm aware, anyways. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you in a couple of weeks, no doubt, and there'll be a video out tomorrow up until Tuesday, really. So I'll catch you guys soon. All right, bye bye.